Well, first of all, as a lifelong fan of Friday the 13th, which I'm sure all of you are, I think we should give another round of applause to Fangoria and all the guys here. Because I know, like you, I've been waiting for a day like this for 20 years, so this is really something special. So I think it's gonna be great. Start with you, well, Ari. Of course, you have the distinction of being the first person to ever play Jason Voorhees. So what did it feel like when they came to you with this role that I'm sure must have seemed completely out there? What was your sort of take on the character?
Oh, well, thank you very much, everybody. It's good to be here, and I just want to say, when I was first approached about the role, it was Sean who, of course, I had participated in one of his films prior to Friday the 13th, which was kind of a comedy, and we had a lot of fun doing that. And I think Sean just called me because he knew that I had the right approach and that I was of the right size to be able to play the young Jason.
Now, did they tell you all about the character of Jason in the sense that he was sort of a not quite human character?
Well, actually, at first, when I walked into the casting room, they handed me sides for a different character, and I was about 13, and I remember that it said, the character goes off to make out with another counselor, and I was like, wow, this is great, man. I really want to be in this movie, But then Sean walked in and said, no, that's not the role. We want Ari to play this role. And then what he did was, which was to put me into the hands of Tom Savini and Tassos Stavrakos, and Tom Savini being not just a master of this genre, but just a dynamic, intense kind of individual, was very inspiring to me as a young boy, and it was just a lot of fun to work with those guys.
Oh, that was a blast. It was like seeing your brothers, your uncles. It was like somehow there's some camaraderie. There's a secret fraternal order of Jasons. But it was just fun. And as a matter of fact, all of the other Jasons are real great guys, and it's just good to see them.
So with the character now, obviously it was a pretty physically demanding role. What was the experience like, your big scene, of course, coming out of the water? What was that?
Oh, well, when I was a kid, I loved to go swimming. I spent a lot. I grew up near the Connecticut coast, and I loved to go swimming, and I would go swimming in pretty cold water all the time. So I think even Sean might have known that because I think there was some cast parties where I jumped into the pool or something like that. So he, when they... it wasn't as physically demanding as you might imagine. One of the more demanding parts was sitting for the makeup to be created, of course, and I learned a lot about, Dick Smith and makeup masters and, archetypical monsters, which Tom always talks about, like, Creature from the Black Lagoon, for instance. And so, in this case, there was a lot of different things that were coming together, but we didn't even know, we had no idea, to tell you the truth, that this movie would have so much effect. We were kind of having fun with it and being creative, and Tom came up with that idea for the final scene of me jumping up out of the water, so it was like all this kind of like creative thing. So we were very excited about that scene. And physically, I mean, the first time we went to shoot it, it was kind of a nice day. We had scheduled it to be done in August, but I think it eventually, how things go, it got put off and, moved down because of scheduling conflicts. And so the second time we went, it was real cold. And everybody had kind of had a good time the night before. So that time, it was like I had to make a 4 o'clock call for the makeup to be done. And we were, kind of tired, to say the least. And some of those, it was real cold that day, so I don't know if those shots were used as much as the next time we came when Sean said, you guys be a little frosty in the morning, and it was actually warm, and we went in, and we all had the right energy and right approach. We're like, yeah, we're going to knock it out of the park this time.
Most people know me as Jason Voorhees, and which is a character near and dear to my heart, but and I really have to say that I love all the people here at this convention. Have been wonderful, and you and everybody, it's wonderful. But yeah, what I've been doing since the movie is, yeah, I've been working on my music project, Ari Ben Moses Band. I played with a lot of the top reggae artists through the years, and artists from West Africa. I myself played in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, West Africa. And so it's like a rock project, but it's informed by reggae music, African music, Latin music, and Middle Eastern music. So we'd love to, if you'd like to drop us a line anytime, it's aribenmosesband.com, and just say hi, and we'd love to hear from you. But the real thing I'd love to tell you is that right now we're working with some top producers and top musicians in New York on a Jason-related rock music project, which all the lyrical content will be based on, let's say, the workings of the mind of Jason throughout Friday the 13th, Part 1. So keep an eye out for that.
Now, Warrington, when you assumed the role of the adult Jason, this was the first time audiences had seen him grown up, and of course he didn't have the hockey mask or any sort of the iconic, things we all know and love about him. How did you kind of come up with sort of the characterization to personify him as an adult?
Well, what started was I had gone to Lee Strasberg School in New York. I thought I was going to, become this new budding actor on the scene. Agent submits you for the role. I think for Part 2, I was submitted to be the camp counselor. So I don't know what happened in the audition, but I didn't get the part. So they liked me, so they said, well, would you like to be Jason? So I said, look, I'm happy to do anything you want me to do. This was 20-some years ago. So it's like, you're a kid? Yeah, I'll do anything you want. So the Jason, I guess, Part 2 image was born. And you arrive on the set. Jason had 6-7 hours of makeup to put on. They built a new eyeball down here. All the hair forms on your face. All new dentures went in your mouth. And I thought, oh man, this is my break into Hollywood. Great. I got a part. I got a bag on my head. I jumped through the window to kill Amy Steele with a machete through my shoulder with blood squirting out all over the place. I'm saying, great, I'm really going to be a big star now. So it was a shock. It was fun to do something. And I'm particularly overwhelmed. A lot of old memories came back up being part of this convention here today. I just can't believe it's 20 years later and we're still talking about Jason.
I'm very happy to be included. I'm very flattered that I was able to be part of this. It's been such a success story in American history. I mean, you're talking about a series of films to go over that spans 20 years, grossing $1 billion. I'm happy that I could say I've been part of it, because it's been an extraordinary story, big success story for America and American filmmakers and the movie-going fans, public.
Now, when you assumed the role, did you have any stunt experience at all?
Yeah, I'd been to Hollywood stuntman school, so I guess that's why they called me up. I don't know. I was originally submitted for the counselor at the camp. I would say the major stunt that was kind of painful was jumping through the window.
Now, is it correct that that didn't work quite right the first time?
Well, the first time they forgot to score the boards. So if you're going to do a window jump, it's a little thin plexiglass, and then there's like, the wood. So they're supposed to cut through 3/4 of it. So we had a platform built on the outside of the house. So you take a couple of steps and blast through the window. And the first time, they forgot to cut the wood, and so I hit the wood and ricochet fall back. It was and keep in mind now, if you close off one of your eyeballs for a while, you lose total depth perception. So I got a new eyeball here. All the makeup was painful as hell, and you're angry. So I jumped through the window. Yes, I did want to kill Amy Steele. Yeah, it was not a problem.
I guess it gives it sort of gives a new meaning to the term method act.